Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Melly Jordan Book Adventures. My name is Melly, and this is a channel where I talk about everything yarn, knitting, crochet, fiber related, and books. What I'm reading, what I recommend, things like that. I've been gone for a good minute, and I'm going to give you a quick snippet because I just recorded a video that I realized was like 10 minutes long of an explanation. I'm going to cut that down to like a minute. One, we're having work done in the house because we're thinking about selling. We redid the bathroom. And then we had our realtor come look, and she pointed out some things, and we went all out, and we're like, we're just gonna reface the whole house. Not a fun process. Thank God for knitting, because that's how I control my anxiety with the mess and the clutter and chaos and everything that has been going on in my house. We started upstairs, and everything from upstairs came down, and then we came downstairs, and everything from downstairs went up, and now I'm just putting everything back together. Okay. Other things that, other reasons, like I've just been super busy. I didn't stop knitting, I didn't stop crocheting, I didn't stop reading. I just could not find the time or the quiet to record a video. I just have a really busy life, but I feel like I'm busy, but it doesn't feel like, or I'm not, how can I put this? I don't have many things to do day to day, but I feel like I never have enough time to do everything I need to get done or to do everything that needs my attention. But I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. Anyway, other reasons. Summertime, school, kids. So imagine having 3 kids at home, one's 17, so she's working most of the time. So 2 kids at home, having work done in the house, having to make sure that everything that needs, there was a point where I just was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to focus on my kids. Whatever mess happens because of this work, I'll do it at the end of the day. And that's kind of like what happened. And it was not helpful because anxiety. So then I had work. I had work being done in the house. I work outside the house. Children. And I got a dog. Just life has been crazy. Somebody looking in would be like, what craziness? But to me, because I have anxiety and I get overwhelmed quickly, it felt that way. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to. That's why I've been missing. That's why I've been gone. And that doesn't mean I stopped knitting. I didn't stop knitting. I didn't stop crocheting. I did stop spinning because summertime, wool, hot, sweat, But I did have to slow down, and I'm going to tell you why. One of the things, I had to organize my yarn. I had to downsize a little bit. I didn't have a lot of yarn. I do not have a lot of yarn. Most of it is in totes in the basement, and it's specific yarn for specific things. But I had a little corner. So my yarn corner, my husband's like, this needs to get, because the realtor was like, no, this needs to go. And I'm like, no. I have my mother's rocking chair in my corner that's actually needs to be repaired, and the person doing my house is going to, do the repairs, whatever. And I said, no, I will do something with it. I will make it nicer. I will get rid of things. I will, my husband's like, what the heck? But I will not remove that from that little corner. I will make it presentable. And I did. I bought a Kallax unit recently because everything's finally going back to normal. I took my corner, I had a tote, I had downsized that, and I had taken everything I didn't want or what knew I wasn't going to use, and I put it in the tote in the basement. I went through my totes in the basement, and I got rid of some yarn. I donated it to charity of things that were random, like a ball of acrylic that I knew was not going to go in anything, and fancy yarn, stuff that I knew I wasn't going to use, basically. And just kept my wools, my sock yarn, some acrylic, because I have some acrylic. I was going to make a sweater with it, but I'm actually now using it for a blanket, and things like that. So I bought a Kallax unit and I'm organizing, and anything I'm not going to be using that I don't want to use for like the winter, and that I'm not going to knit and crochet with, I put in a tote and I'm going to put it all downstairs. And I only pulled out what I like. Okay, I'm going to use this next. I'm going to use this next. Type thing. So it's a lot neater. And I bought those little bath boxes, those foldable boxes to put in the unit. And I put like my needles, like my sets in that. So it looks neat and it looks clean. And I put my printer on top because I actually just had my printer sitting on a chair. And it was not pretty. So my house is coming together. The other thing is, my husband bought me well, he didn't buy it. I bought it, but he finally told me, you know what? Maybe we need this. I bought a Kallax unit to use as a bookshelf and to also use as a place to put my candles, because I realized that I was on a Bruno. I have the dog on one side and the cat on the other, and the dog wants to play. The cat is older. She does not want to play. She's doing something. He's whining. He's like, he wants to play with her, but he's afraid of her, but she won't hurt him. It's the funniest thing. Like, she's walking away from him, and he's like, she's just sitting there. Bruno, she's not going to bother you, and you're not going to bother her. Anyway, so I bought a larger Kallax unit for 6 squares to use my kit, because I realized like all my candles were piling on my entertainment center on my TV, and you couldn't see my photos. So kind of like I'm trying to use them, because I would buy it and I'm like, no, I'm not going to use it. It's so pretty. I've come to the conclusion that stop buying things and not using them. Buy the candles, burn the candles, don't buy any. So I've made a deal with myself that I would not buy any candles or any yarn until I use at least half, if not more, of what I have. And I think my husband agreed, like, that's fine. Unless it's something like I need yarn because I ran out of something that I'm in the middle of making, then that's different. Anyway, like, all right, so there's my life update. There's my life story. That's what's been going on with me and why I've been missing in action. And now I'm going to, let's see, I have not had any yarn acquisitions. Actually, I'm lying. I have. But I left it in the other room. Let me go grab that real quick. Sorry. We'll start with yarn acquisitions first, because I don't have much. Okay, so in the Goodwill donating stuff, I always go in. I actually saw all the yarn I donated on the shelves, and then I saw a bag that had like 2 separate things, and that was some Windtuck, some vintage Sears Windtuck. So I opened the one bag. It had this in it. It had this and some random white yarn, which I think it's this. And no, I'm lying. It's not this, but it's similar. So I put this and the random white yarn in one bag. And then I put this in it because this was in another bag. And this is Felted Tweed by Rowan. And these are swatches that was in it. So I may have to purchase this color. But you know what? This would make, if I bought cream in it, it would make a really nice sweater. Anyway, so I had the Windtuck. There was 2 yellow, 2 light blue, and 2 dark blue. I'm using them to make socks. And I wouldn't say this is yellow. This is more of a gold. So I'm using, main part of the sock is the gold, and the heel toe and cuff is white. See, I feel like this would definitely make a nice sweater. I forgot that this was here. Anyway, there's that. On to works in progress. I have not finished any objects, so I don't have any because being busy life. I'm lying. I have finished the object. Oh my God. Here I go lying. Look at me lying. Okay, so do you remember the socks that I don't know if I ever said anything, but I had the Wool-like from Michaels, which is, it's an acrylic. It's thin. It's like sock weight. And I wanted to make a pair of socks. And I started one sock, and then I finished one sock, and I started the other one, and I put it away, and I hid it and whatever, and I hated it. Then I was like, you know what? I need to finish these socks. I need those needles. So I finished the socks. I actually just finished them the other day. Basic vanilla sock. Short row heel. No, I'm sorry, wrap and turn, I think this is. Wrap and turn heel, just because that's my go-to heel. I don't mind if it's a little bit, the way the heel looks, where a little bit holy. Not really. I've gotten a lot better with my, I don't know if you could see, but it's not as open as I used to be. And I was thinking about gifting these to my 14-year-old. Haven't decided yet, though. Are these inside out? No. Well, then why is that like that? Interesting. Anyway, so that's one finished object, and then I have a half a finished object. This is random yarn that I had also gotten in the Goodwill. No tag. Played with a little bit of color work. Again, standard vanilla sock. Wrap and turn heel. I don't know what you would call this toe. I don't know. Is this a square toe? I don't do Kitchener stitch. I thread it, pull it through, make it nice and flat, and then whip stitch, I think it's called. And these toes last me better than anything else. Not bumpy at all, as you can see. It still looks really nice. It blends. I got a little bit of a bump there, but it blends really well in with the knitting. And I'm working on the second sock now. Other thing I'm working on, because, you know, life. Oh, I actually can show you those socks that I was working on, the gold ones. Put you here. Oh, there was something else I forgot to tell you. I bought a sewing machine over the summer. I think I may have. And I wanted to learn how to sew. And I bought all this fabric from the Dollar Tree and Walmart. And all this yarn, or all this fabric. And I made a couple of these bags. And they're, you know, janky bags. Not very well done, janky. You know, it was whatever, but I like it. And then the sewing machine broke. It was not an expensive one. It was one of those like cheapy $40 ones from Amazon. Sent it back. I was like, you know what? Not that I don't like sewing, but if I'm going to sew, I want a good machine. So this is the yarn. This is the Windtuck, the white. I'm not sure what it is. I'm using my 2.5 millimeter needles. These are my Knitter's Pride Knitter's Pride Meditation. It's the ones that have like the words on it. This one says love. I actually fell in love. I have circulars of it too. I actually broke down. I had bought in 2 pairs of the 2.25s. Fell in love with the DPNs. Oh, I bought 2 pairs of the circulars and 2 pair. I bought one circular 2.25 and one circular 2.5. Fell in love with them because they're 10 inches, not 9. So it's a little bit easier on my hand. Fell in love with the DPNs. So I bought a set of circulars and a set of DPNs. But we didn't tell my husband. Anyway, these are on the 2.25. And I'm also working on a sweater. Please don't tell me that I lost my stitches. I will be so mad. You know what? I need to take something out of this bag that's not... Okay. Come on. All right. Wait. I'm tangled. I'm tangled. Okay. All right. I didn't lose stitches. I started this as a I started knitting this in the round and realized that the pattern, the way the pattern was, it was like cast on X amount of stitches, work bottom up and around, and I'm looking at the sweater and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I know it's supposed to be a little bit oversized and boxy, but this is like huge. So I pulled it out because it gave instructions for, and I couldn't even tell you what it was. I really couldn't tell you what it was. I pulled it out, and I'm using Lion Brand faux. What is it called? It's called FOMO. It's fake mohair. I have real mohair, but I wanted to try this when I saw this. And it is making up a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fabric, as you can see. Anyway, it did give instructions for a flat version. And I have my vintage needles, so I said, why not? Let's see what I can get done with it. And I think, you can't tell, but I definitely think this is going to fit me better. I'm using, it says 3 1/4 millimeters, so I'm assuming that's 3.25. Because they're vintage and not quite sure. So 3.25 is what I'm going with. I could measure them with my needle gauge thing, but like, why? And actually, I don't mind knitting flat. I did try to knit a pattern flat for my son for a sweater, and it came out horribly wrong. Like, it was not going to fit him. And I used the size needle and the size yarn and this correct number of stitches, and it just was not sewing up the way it should have. Like, it was weird. So I put it away and I said, all right, I'm going to tear it out. And I believe I did. I balled the yarn up and it's waiting for me. I'm going to do Tin Can Knits flax sweater for him, because I did one for him when he was a little bit younger, and he loved it. And it probably could still fit him, because the yarn I used was a little bit stretchy, like, you know, a little elastic. It was a ice yarns, but it was the first sweater I'd ever made. So even if it doesn't fit him, I'm keeping it, because he only wore it like a few times. But he had chosen this yarn, and he had chosen the yarn, he had chosen the color and everything. So I have to make him the sweater eventually, and I'll probably not have enough yarn because he's growing. Because I wanted to use my vintage needles. I mean, I could still make it flat and just customize it to him. Do a swatch. See what I need. Because I really think, like, it was really weird. Like, the pattern was like, it didn't feel like it was enough stitches, and it really wasn't. There was like decreasing where there should, like, it was weird. Like, just give me a basic pattern and let me go at it. Like, this one is a basic pattern. I think there's some bind off to make the neck and then like the shoulders, but that's it. Like, it's not complicated. Anyway, so I've been talking for 20 minutes about I don't know what. I've shown you what I've been working on. I've shown you what I've made, which isn't much because, again, busy house stuff. I'm not reading anything at the moment. I have read, what was the last book I read? I'm so not prepared. Let me go grab it, because I can't think at the moment. No. Last book I read was Little Comfort. Oh, the last book besides that was Little Comfort by Edwin Hill. But I also read The House of Hollow. The House of Hollow. And I really enjoyed it. I gave it to my daughter. That's why I couldn't remember, because I gave it to my daughter. I was like, here, try to read this. See if you'll like it. And I really enjoyed that one too. So if you're on the fence about House of Hollow, like I was and have been, definitely, I think her name is, the author is Crystal Sutherland. If you're on the fence about it, definitely give it a try, because I was like, I'm not gonna like it. It's got this fantastical element to it, but it was actually pretty decent. Like, it wasn't like over the top unbelievable, like Harry Potter type fantastical. Anyway, so that's it for now. I just wanted to do a little video coming back to tell you what's been going on in my life. I'm going to try to upload once a month. I'm not going to try for any more, because I'm knitting, but I'm not knitting like ridiculously crazy, because I have other stuff going on. So if I don't have anything to show you, I'll come on and just be like, hey, this is, you know, I'm still working on this, I'm still working on that. Oh, Bruno. He's playing with his dog bowl and his chew toy, and he wants to play with the cat. He's so cute. The cat doesn't, they don't fight. The cat kind of ignores him. Like, she's used to having other animals. So, and he doesn't bother her. Like, he wants to play. So So, like, he's never tried to hurt her, whatever, fight with her. He wants to play with her. And he's like, like, they've laid on the bed next to each other and, like, ignored each other and been fine. So, I'm not worried about that. Anyway. So, yeah, I'm just going to come on. If there's nothing new, I'll come on and just say hi. At least I'm going to try. Like, that's my goal. I'm going to try again to start this podcast back up. So, I guess that's it for now. I will talk to you guys later. See you soon. Bye.